What's up, y'all? Driver Eyes here. Hey, I just thought I'd do a kind of a funny video on a truck driver that's used to driving a manual transmission truck, and he changes over to a big truck with a automatic. Now, I ain't gonna lie, I've been driving an automatic I've had this truck for 3 years. I still have issues with it every day, but my clutch knee don't hurt anymore. I don't have to put my drink down to shift gears. I can still drive and hold my drink, coffee or Powerade or whatever it is. But here's some things about if you drove a manual transmission big truck for a long time, like I did, and then you get into an automatic. Here's some things you have to expect. I'm going up the road, okay? I'm light, which means my truck only do 65 anyway, but I'm light. I'm kicking it, got it on the floor, passing somebody, doing, I don't know, 65 mile an hour. The truck will start slowing down a little bit. So I hit the shifter here and just downshift to 11th gear, because it's a 12 speed, and it'll get going and it'll start slowing down again and it'll grab 12th gear, and I'm like, you dumb son of a bitch, we're slowing down, so yeah, let's grab a big gear, right? That makes lots of sense, right? That shit like that pisses me off. Or you'll be empty, or not even being empty, and take off from a light, and this thing will shift gears so damn fast, you're in 12th gear at like 40 miles an hour, and it's going and you should be rolling on and passing people. I cuss it over that. Backing in a dock sometimes, or backing under a trailer, I'll be backing up, or I'll pull up, put it in reverse, start backing up and just get to the trailer, and then I just like to ease it underneath. Now, sometimes the automatic transmission, it just wants to hammer down and just slam you back into the damn trailer. And it's like, easy, big dog. Why you got to do that? It scares the shit out of you, and it makes you look like you can't freaking drive. And what else about it? Sometimes I'll be taking off from a light or out of a dock or anywhere with a heavy load on, and the son of a bitch will try to take off in 5th gear, and it's like, and then it'll shift down to 3rd, and then it'll shift up to 4th, and then it'll shift down to 2nd, and then it'll almost stall out. Sometimes it'll grab neutral, and I ain't moved 10 feet, and all this shifting and all this bullshit. You have to pay attention, or you'll run over somebody behind you, because this bastard will start rolling backwards. It will. I cuss it a lot because of that. And what else? Oh, mine's got the, what is this? Eaton Smart Shift is what it's called, I believe. I think that's what it's called. But it is nice in traffic sometimes. And what else? I've driven a big truck with an automatic transmission that had a clutch before, I'll be honest with you. And that was a little funky. It didn't make any sense. And this thing, it's a 2019. I got it. It had 1,200 miles on it. It was a brand new truck. Excuse me. Good coffee. But I, for the life of me, have never even been able to figure out how to put the son of a bitch in manual transmission. You're supposed to be able to just hold this little thing in right here, and it goes into manual. But, you know, as you've seen right there, it don't work. It don't go into manual. And the last truck I had, the Jake brake button, it wasn't automatic, it was a straight 10 speed, which meant it had the selector, or not the selector, but the splitter, which you put the little thing down and go through 5 gears, and then pick it up and go through the other 5. It's air related. But it was a Freightliner too. It was a 2015 or 2016, I can't remember. But it had a button on the dashboard for the jake brake. That was ridiculous as hell. I'm glad that they done away with that. Now my jake brake's like right here. I got 3 stages, and it's actually a switch on my shifter that I can pull up and down. That seems to work better, because the push button jake brake on the other Freightliner that I had, even though it was a manual transmission, that thing had a short in it. It got a short in it there around the end of my driving the truck, in which I traded the truck in. It had a little over 500,000 miles on it, half a million miles on it. I got this one in 2019. Yeah, January of 2019, and it is a 2019 model, and it has 316,000 miles on it right now. I put about roughly 120,000 miles a year on a big truck. No, actually, I got it in March of 2019. It was built in January, and I got it in March. But I put about 120,000 miles on these trucks in a year's time, which is 2,500 miles a week, 10,000 miles a month. That's average. That's average. And mind you, I'm home every night, and I still drive that damn much. That's crazy, isn't it? I drove that much when I was on the road. Actually, when I lived in a truck 5 days a week, I still drove that amount. Maybe a little, sometimes a little more, sometimes 3,000 miles a week when I was living in the truck. But I have a sleeper now, but I don't, I've had a sleeper truck for my entire driving career, actually. And there's a running joke at our plant that's like, oh, this guy's got this sleeper truck and it's never getting slept in. I got news for you. We're supposed to take this half-hour break every day. My ass is in that bed for a half hour. I'll get back there and crash out in the bunk. This parking spot that I already have, that I stop at the same place every day when I'm going up this way anyway. And I'll stop at this place and I'll get back there and take me a half-hour nap. Clock out of the computer and crash out, guys. I can sleep better in a truck than I can at home in my own bed, honestly. I can fall asleep faster. For some reason, I don't know what that is, but probably because I've been doing it for 16 years, but But yeah, let's talk about that automatic some more. What else we got? It's the jakes on the automatics used to be really weird. They wasn't, back when they first started coming out with them, they wasn't really good. The jake brake wasn't really that good. It was more like a exhaust brake than an actual jake brake. But they've upgraded them to where they work pretty damn good nowadays. I mean, I run this thing in second stage all the time. First stage is just a little bit, second stage is a little louder than that. Third stage is like, it'll throw you over the fucking handlebars if you ain't careful. You gotta watch it. But that was an issue I had a lot of times with a manual transmission big truck. I had this damn Mack with a Super 10 in it. If you don't know what a Super 10 is, it has a splitter for the bottom gears and a selector for the top gears. So I love a Super 10, man. I would drive one right now. But it got aggravating sometimes because I would forget to flip that third stage jake off in that big ass Mack. It was a Mack Vision 460 is what it was. 90 or it might have been a 90 something or a very early 2000 model. It was a nice truck. But a lot of times I'd pull off a toll booth and I'd forget to turn that jake off, and in between gears I'm like, and it would, oh damn, it would throw you over the handlebars, guys. I got used to it though, to where I could just touch my foot on the clutch, just give it a little clutch, and that jake will go off in between shifting, just to shift it. But never used the clutch shifting. Usually I just let out on the clutch and take off and float them, guys. Just float them. I'm not really good at using a clutch shifting a big truck. but I didn't use it shifting the Super 10. I just laid my foot on it sometimes to keep the Jake from kicking on. For some reason, that seemed easier than flipping the switch off. But you know, that's what I got about automatic trucks. There's good and there's bad, and there's ugly. I've been driving an automatic truck at another company I worked for, and the damn transmission, it was a 10-speed, I think. No, I can't remember. It was an older Freightliner Columbia, and had a automatic transmission. It was a 06 or 07 model, but that son of a bitch got hung in 10th gear on the scales in North Carolina on I-40 right there by Harmony. It got hung on the freaking scales, man. It didn't want to take, I mean, it took off, but it was like, and I had to stop at the fucking scale house and call a wrecker or a mechanic, and ended up being a wrecker, and I had to stay in a motel for like 3 days. And they were like, there's nothing wrong with this truck. Like, you're full of shit, guys. It was stuck in 12th gear. I shut the truck off, started it back up. Actually, it wouldn't start back up when I shut it off, or I was scared to shut it off. That's what happened. I let it idle. I didn't shut it off because I was scared that it was in gear, so it wasn't going to restart. So then I was going to freeze my ass off at the scale house if it took the wrecker a while to get there, or the mechanic a while to get there. I wanted to leave the truck running. But yeah, that happened. That did happen. It got hung in gear on the damn scales, and everybody's looking at me like, this fucking idiot can't drive. And it's the damn truck don't know what it's doing. You know, the thing that pisses me off the most though is the changing gears, man. I understand that it skips gears. Sometimes that's cool. But I've got this place up here at this customer, or this company that I go to and drop this trailer and pick another one up. And it's I'm sitting in the dock, and there's a hill straight ahead of me. And it's a decent sized little hill. Man, my truck sometimes it don't know what gear to go in. It's like it'll shift 5 times, and then it'll just hit neutral, and I'll start rolling backwards. But I always have the brake covered anyway, because I know that happens. It scared the shit out of me the first time it happened, but it happens quite frequently. I don't understand why it's so confusing, but you know, it is what it is. But that's about all I got for this video, guys. Driver eyes. Pina coladas, y'all. Later.